Hi everyone, I'm Joetta.
And
This is
I'm
Jeff. And we're just going to talk to you a little bit about how we keep our marriage strong. We've been married for 15 years, together for
Longer.
18 years ish, 18 years ish, something like that. Um,
Well, technically, the first time I met her, she was 6.
yeah, people don't need to know that
Okay.
yet. But we didn't
I
obviously.
wasn't interested at that time.
Obviously, things didn't go that way at that time. There is an 11-year difference between us. And we met again when I was in the middle of my divorce or whatever. So obviously, I wasn't still 6 then. But we just kind of want to share with you some of the things that we focus on. And I'm going to start us off. I would say that on my part, something that I've always been very intentional about is making sure that the kids see that he is first. Because it's always been important to me. And even in the thick of having infants and babies that were crying, I believe that it was always important that he was first. Now, obviously, we are a team, and he's always been amazing at helping me and being there with me. But sometimes that might mean, in those days, allowing a baby who is safe and fed and changed to lay in a bed and cry for a little bit while we have 10 or 15 minutes of time together. And making sure that that was always a priority, because our children see that, and we can see the fruition of that through time now that our kids are all older. I have always felt it was important that they saw that he was my priority. You know, I go to the store and I will get something specifically for him 9 times out of 10 times they go to the store, and the kids see that and they'll say, well, why not me? And I'm like, well, because I really love your daddy. You know, I love you too, but, you know, I want them to see the things we do for each other and what love really should look like and what a healthy relationship should look like. I feel like it's important to be intentional about your relationship with your husband, even in the hard days when the baby is crying and you're tired, you're exhausted, and if you've not slept in what feels like an eternity, still making sure that you prioritize that relationship, even if that means allowing your baby to cry for a little while. I promise they won't remember when they're 6 and they're 7 and they're 8 and they're 9. It's going to be okay. And I know that that's hard, but I can promise you that it is worth it in the end. I would say that we also are intentional about going out on regular dates.
Yeah, and it's also it's the perception. Some family units can feel like it is the mother and the father against the children, and I don't mean like competitive. I mean like you guys are mothers and fathers or parents are struggling to just make it through the day, and the struggle is real with us too. But the difference is at least what we think the difference is from our point of view is that our children understand that we have a relationship, that we will take our time to, I'll come home and we will share our day, and we will take a few minutes to, you know, greet each other when I get home or when she gets home, and then say goodbye to each other, because that is our relationship. I mean, she mentioned dating as well. We go out on date nights. I mean, as often as we can. You know, it ends up being maybe twice a month on average, and they don't have to be elaborate.
No.
The majority of our date nights we'll go out to eat somewhere, and then we are usually running to the store to shop for the next birthday present that's coming up.
Right.
You know, it ends up being, but it's not so much what we do. It's
Right.
it's the fact that we are doing something, and our children understand that we have a relationship with the family. I'm the father, she's the mother. We have a relationship with each child, but we also have a relationship with each other. And I think sometimes when you add it all up, at the end of the day, that's the first one that kind of gets pushed to the wayside because you run out of minutes in the day, and we do that too. That's also a struggle that we have because we have to be very intentional. I would say that we have a very good, very healthy marriage. We disagree. Sometimes we argue. It's never.
It's usually because he's wrong. By the way, it's usually because he is wrong.
Agree to disagree. But again, it's sometimes we have that mentality of, okay, there's things we have to focus on, so we put our relationship on cruise control because we know it's good. And so we can sometimes just say, okay, I can't focus on you right now. I'm focusing on this, or work is difficult and I'm carrying that load with me and she's carrying that load with her. But we have to, usually the other person reminds, if I'm the one that's kind of in that cruise control mentality, she'll remind me, hey, I'm over here, don't forget about me, and I'll do the same. So again, it's just making sure that when you are dividing your time, that we're making sure that we don't forget about this right here.
And I would say, like with dates, when the kids were younger, I mean, we live here far away from family. We do not have help here, I would say. I mean, obviously now the older kids are able, but when they were young, it was very difficult. So sometimes date night looked like me getting stuff from the grocery store, and we didn't have much money. We still don't, but we especially did not then. And us putting the kids to bed and going in the bedroom and locking the door and just being intentional that way, having a dinner in bed, in the bedroom, and talking and doing things that way. I would also say and encourage you to make sure your children know that they are not in charge and they are not first. And, my children know that we love them very much. But when Daddy gets home, he comes to me first. I mean, he's like, I love you guys. I want to see you guys.
Because I'm trained to do so.
But he comes to me and gives me a hug and a kiss and how was your day? And then he will turn his attention to the kids. I think that has developed an incredibly healthy relationship between the members of our family, helping them understand that mommy and daddy love each other and they are safe in that, knowing that they are in a complete household. I don't know a good way to say that. But
well, I think that's a good way, but then the other piece of that is, and I think what she said is absolutely correct, but in order for that to be successful, we have to have the other piece of that, which is when it's the children's turn, then it's their turn.
Right.
So, like she said, an example would be I come home and her and the kids are already home, and I'll get, I won't even get in the door, and I'll be met with, 6 people telling me exactly what happened. It's usually the same story from 6 different perspectives. But anyway, I will calmly stop them at that point. I'll walk in, I'll set my stuff down. I'll tell them I want to hear everything. I want to hear it from each one of you. But let me get in here and say hi to mommy. And then once that's done, and we have, greeted each other, then I'll have that time with them as well. And it's the same thing. We are adamant about doing date nights with our children too. And again, it does not have to be an elaborate thing. We usually budget about $50 for it. And what we do is we'll rotate, and when it's that person's turn, they get to pick who they want to take them out. We'll give them a list of restaurants that fall within that budget, or food places that fall within that budget. And then it usually involves but it's one-on-one time. It's their dedicated time.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when I'm out on a date with her, it would be her dedicated time. But we have that intentional time with them. So when I do walk in the door and I say, hang on, I do want to hear what you have to say, our children know that that moment is coming. It's just not right then. So I think you have to have both in order for it to be successful. Because if I always dismiss the children, not right now, then I'm going to create a relationship to where I'm unapproachable, or I'm unapproachable between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. And I don't want that. I just want them to know that there's a sequence that has to happen. Now, if it's an emergency, obviously that changes that sequence.
Mm-hmm.
But
and then I would say communication, of course, very important. He is way better at this than I am. I am bad about letting things build up because I like to spend time deciding if it's worth it, or sometimes I just really don't want to hurt his feelings. Or, I don't know. I mean, it could be any number of things, but I would say he's the better communicator. I tend to just keep things inside. I'm more quiet on that front until things, until he drives me crazy enough that I just can't take it anymore. And then I would say the other thing would be to be intentionally physical with each other. And by that, I mean kissing, hugging, holding hands, holding each other, and allowing your children to see that part of your relationship within an appropriate, reasonable limit, so they can, you got to remember they're looking at you to see what their future relationship should look like. And it's more important now than it's ever been, because things are not the way they used to be. The roles are not as clear cut in today's society as they once were. So we definitely want to be intentional, not just for each other, but so our children can clearly see the parameters of what a good, healthy relationship looks like.
Yeah.
So, anything else you can think of?
No, our kids get a kick out of, or we get a kick out of, when I go up to kiss her, I'll hear the kids go,
I know. Oh, gross, stop, guys. Yeah. But I know that they're growing in that, and they do, underneath the grossness, appreciate it, I think. So.
Yeah, our children see, and they watch, and they see everything that parents do. And we want, the best way I can describe it is, we want to model what our interpretation of a good marriage looks like.
Right.
And same thing with the date nights. When we take them out on their date nights, yes, it's one-on-one time, which is great. Yes, it's doing something that they get to determine what we're going to do and where we're going to go that evening. But it also, when I take our daughters out and when she takes our sons out, it's also an opportunity for us to show them what they should expect, how they should expect to be treated.
Right.
So,
yeah.
that's all. Thanks.